when he has proven that he's a liar, he has proven that he's willing to hide the truth and he can't be trusted, and his word is nothing no more. Anything that somebody says against him is going to be considered the truth, bro. Anybody could come out and say that he did this and he did that, whether wrong, right, or indifferent. Anybody could say that now because he's lied to the public for so long.
The boy Puffy called me, though. Puffy called me back in the day. He called me. He was like, I just want you to know I ain't have nothing to do with your brother's, you know, I know who you are, but we never met. And I just want to call you man to man, let you know that I ain't have nothing to do with your brother's death. Now, why was he calling me, reaching out to me? Because LA Times, it was in the early 2000s, LA Times had just dropped an article in the newspaper implicating him as well. I told him I appreciate the call, but the truth is yet to come out, so we gonna see.
You mean to tell me it's a bunch of people sitting around right now just waiting for their phone to ring because they in them tapes?
I'm sure. And I'm sure, and you know they got to be celebrities, because if it's just a regular person, they're not going to know who the regular person is. So I'm sure they're probably reaching out to celebrities, right?
What is on those tapes? And it's so crazy because Suge Knight told us Diddy like to be all up in the videos.
Welcome back to the AV to the 7th Power channel, where we talk about all things law, true crime, and a little bit of political debauchery. Today, we are back with breaking news in the Diddy files. Recent developments with Sean P. Diddy Combs are starting to get real. Before we dive into that, we're going to jump into one of our episode's sponsors, and that is Aura. Huge shout out to Aura. Really, really excited about their product and really excited about the partnership that we have with them.
Protecting your cybersecurity is so important, especially in the day and age that we live in. Guys, have you ever Googled yourself and have been baffled at the things that come up, and you're kind of like, all right, Google, did you really need to know that? All right, phone, you're just going to call me from numbers from different countries all the time. If you're a day one, then you know that I really value my privacy. And it makes me super uncomfortable to know that my information is out there along with yours. The plot thickens because information is now for sale. Data brokers actually sell your information. Data brokers sell your information to scammers, spammers, and anyone who may want to target you. Your full name, your email, your home address, the place where you lay your head, health records, your relatives, it's all out there. That's why I've been using Aura, the sponsor of today's video. Aura shows me which data brokers are selling my information. They're telling me who's using it, and I love that. It automatically submits opt-out requests for me on my behalf. Cleaning up my information not only helps me reduce the amount of spam I get, and Lord knows, but it protects me from hackers, especially as a YouTuber, who could use this information to help them access my social media accounts, bank accounts, or other pertinent sensitive information. I don't know if you know this, but AT&T recently revealed that 73 million customer records were released, both existing and former customers, on the dark web. They recommend that those that were affected by this data breach use stronger passwords, monitor their account activity, and consider credit freezes and fraud alerts from credit bureaus. Well, Aura does this all for me. I don't have time to download all of these apps just to keep my data secure. If my information was compromised in an AT&T data breach, I'm not worried. Aura is always on, always doing the hard work to keep me safe. I value my privacy, and I value yours. You can go to aura.com/AV7 to start your free 2-week trial using this service. Also linked below in the description. Let's get into today's video.
FBI, open up!
Federal investigators are preparing to bring accusers of Sean P. Diddy Combs before a federal grand jury, indicating a potential move towards seeking an indictment. Witnesses, including those who have filed lawsuits against Combs, may testify in New York City. This development marks a significant escalation in the investigation, which involves 8 civil lawsuits accusing Diddy of SA, one of which has been settled. While Homeland Security has declined to comment on some of the news that is breaking this week on the grand jury, sources indicate that the investigation is thorough and ongoing. Evidence is still being gathered to ensure any potential indictment is well supported. Federal investigators are intensifying their investigation into Diddy, with sources confirming that accusers have been repeatedly questioned. And they are actively cooperating, providing evidence they believe is relevant. The investigation, which began with the raid in LA, the raid in Miami that took place in March simultaneously, now encompasses the allegations of trafficking, but what's new is money laundering and illegal drug activities. Despite Diddy's denials and claims that the accusations are attempts at a quick payday, then we got an apology. The scope of the investigation has broadened significantly, with new witnesses being brought in for questioning to support the claims. A grand jury is a body of people who are chosen to sit permanently for at least a month and sometimes a year, and who in ex parte proceedings decide whether to issue indictments based off of Federal Rules of Criminal Procedure Rule 6. If a grand jury decides that evidence is strong enough to hold a suspect for trial, it returns a bill of indictment charging the suspect with the specific crime. Prosecutors have a substantial amount of time to sit in front of a grand jury and present them with evidence. If that grand jury, because it is a large body of people, if they feel that the evidence is strong enough for an arrest and a trial, an indictment will be issued. This happened just a year ago around this time with the Tupac murder trial. Ultimately, this led to Keffe D's arrest. Keffe D was being investigated. The case went in front of a grand jury. They chose to indict him in the summer. I believe it was sometime around July, and we saw an arrest in September. Speaking of Tupac, Diddy initially admired Tupac Shakur for his blend of street credibility and mainstream success. Diddy even attempted to build a friendship with him.
Overthrow the government y'all got right now, which is bad boys and all that bullshit, and we will bring a new government here that will feed every person in New York.
But Shakur rejected him, viewing Diddy as a corny executive. The relationship between Shakur and Combs deteriorated dramatically after Shakur was shot at Quad Studios in 1994, an incident Shakur blamed on Combs and the Bad Boy Records crew. This accusation fueled the infamous East Coast, West Coast rivalry, with Diddy allegedly stroking the conflict through provocative music releases. The feud escalated until Tupac's tragic murder in 1996, for which Diddy was indirectly blamed by Suge Knight, although Diddy denied any involvement. The rivalry between Bad Boy Records, led by Diddy, and Death Row Records significantly impacted the notorious B.I.G., also known as Biggie Smalls. Biggie and Tupac's relationship soured after Tupac's 1994 shooting, leading to Biggie's controversial release of Who Shot Ya? This track was perceived as a taunt, escalating the feud. Despite not desiring to conflict with Tupac, Biggie was drawn into the rivalry. His murder in 1997, widely viewed as a retaliatory act, occurred just as he was reportedly planning to leave Bad Boy Records. Combs' handling of Biggie's album after he passed drew criticism for capitalizing on his death. Lastly, in this week's news, we need to talk a little bit about 50 Cent's trolling and how it suddenly stopped.
Shoot me in the elevator?
Netflix has acquired a documentary about the SA allegations against Sean Diddy Combs, produced by rapper 50 Cent, after a fierce bidding war. Multiple networks and streaming services have been vying for the series since 50 Cent, whose real name, of course we know, is Curtis, began hinting at the project several months ago. Curtis, who frequently takes pleasure on his rival's scandals, confirmed the Netflix deal in an Instagram post, noting that additional episodes might be needed if more victims come forward. 50 Cent has been a master at trolling Diddy over these past few months. In fact, that's where I get a lot of my news, is just scrolling through his feed. Every single Diddy post that he had has now been miraculously deleted. So we can tell from an inference from the outside that some of that is likely connected to the deal going forward. I know that is a lot. This case is heating up. I'm telling you guys, and do not forget, Keffe D's murder trial starts this month, June of 2024. Here at the AV7 channel, we are going to be locked in. Let me know what you think about all of this debauchery in the comment section below. Stay safe out there. We'll see you in the next one. Bye.